It's all on the table. 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 We ain't gon' walk around it. Oh no. We gon' talk about it. Let's go. We ain't gon' walk around it. Oh no. We ain't gon' talk about it. Let's go. It's all on the table. 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 It's raw assassin. He gon' bring it like a DoorDash. Every Thursday at noon, it's about to be a blast. We put it all on the table like a smorgasbord. And it don't matter the subject, it can be explored. Yeah, it's Philly's on and he going strong. Don't bring the kids cause we talking grown. Bring your opinion, don't matter if it's right or it's wrong. We preaching the topic, it's on. It's all on the table. 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 We ain't gon' walk around it. Oh no. We ain't gon' talk about it. Let's go. We ain't gon' walk around it. Oh no. We ain't gon' talk about it. Let's go. It's all on the table. 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 Boom!
They say time waits for no man, so I'ma work my own hand and clutch these bands and rise while I'm still standing.
Take us out until the graveyard shift with the AR-15 beside the whip goes right in the cut.
They say time waits for no man, so I'ma work my own hand and clutch these bands and rise while I'm still standing.
Take us out until the graveyard shift with the AR-15 beside the whip goes right in the cut.
Catching wops and Cadillacs, Emerald Green, CTS on chrome, solo missions. I trust myself, me and next alone. Restless grit into these blue faces, increased by Dex and clone. Any futile attempt to intervene and text are blown. Hate'll exist for as long as you breathe, but no more than a nigga. The feelings your life can get lost in the streets. I know some would like, but they never sign the coffers for me. A ditch awaits you witness Mossberg's release. Fuck you niggas, I'ma grind till there's nothing left. Level up till I'm the final boss. Live my best life until it's expired, bitch, no mind the cost. Riding rise will be your die by me, there ain't no other options. I hit this ground running in this time, there ain't no stopping these bands coming like Al Cap, socking like that jazz nigga. Heaters in mob on deck for whoever tries to blast niggas. Sunrise to sunset, back to sunrise. My mind's on tunnel vision, on my grind till my signs flatline. They say time waits for no man, so I'ma work my own hand and clutch these bands and rise while I'm still standing.
Take us out until the graveyard shift with the AR-15 beside the whip goes right in the cut.
They say time waits for no man, so I'ma work my own hand and clutch these bands and rise while I'm still standing.
Take us out until the graveyard shift with the AR-15 beside the whip goes right in the cut.
It said time waits for no man. You gotta watch how you tick. They got options for a man to do some time up in. I gotta stay gone with the wind. Pick an airline I'm in. Get it moving, stuff in the back, hands in action. Wrap them racks up in plastic and stack it. Got me a grave site and it's just for dead presidents. I made sacrifices after sacrifices. That moves benefits that move. How about that on the tax bracket? Gotta keep it official, no matter the year or month. I only live once, my life to feed my needs and my want. If I don't move, I don't. So I don't make plans no more. I just do what I want. I'm from the era of the hard knock, fist to cup. If it ain't rough, it ain't us. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I'll stay ahead of time and run it up.
They say time waits for no man, so I'ma work my own hand and clutch these bands and rise while I'm still standing.
Take us out until the graveyard shift with the AR-15 beside the whip goes right in the cut.
They say time waits for no man, so I'ma work my own hand and clutch these bands and rise while I'm still standing.
Take us out until the graveyard shift with the AR-15 beside the whip goes right in the cut.
What's motherfucking poppin'? We back in the building. Y'all already know what it is. All on the Table podcast. Your boy Raw says coming at you live each and every motherfucker Thursday. But every now and then I try to do something a little different and bring y'all some shit that I feel like y'all need to know. Yeah, some shit that I feel like y'all need to be paying attention to. You know what I mean? So without further ado, man, I ain't gonna get into all the extra schematics and all that shit, all the breakdowns and all that. I'm gonna let him do it his goddamn self. Because this is the type of dude that He don't want nobody talking for him. He want to say what the fuck he gotta say, so you know it came from the horse's motherfucking mouth. You know what I mean? We got Excursion in the building. What's up with you, Slime? What's up with you, Slime?
Hey, what's good, man? Ain't all too much over here, man. Just steady working, getting shit moving here, and hell, we about to talk about what just happened here a couple of days ago. So, pretty much just hey, what I'm saying, keeping things on the up and up here. What's good on your side?
Man, you already know, man. I'm still alive, so I'm great. I don't complain about shit. I just keep it pushing.
And I feel that one for certain.
You know what I mean? So first off, man, let everybody know, where you from and what's your name and all that. Like, what does your name mean and all that type of shit.
Oh yeah, you understand. Of course, my name is Excursion. I'm from Akron, Ohio. You know what I mean? LeBron City out here. Shoot, artists from Left to Be Right Entertainment. My name, I said like it. Well, shoot, if you want to go ahead and get to the dictionary meaning of it or whatnot, it just mean a short, pleasurable journey. But as far as how I got the name, getting more into that story, it was really just from my freestyling. Like, before I even started writing, you know what I mean? I was real heavy into freestyling here as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Been rapping since 10. And I say about like 15, especially 16 years old, 2000, I started getting a name for myself here or whatnot for the rapping and the freestyling and everything like that. Especially like my pops, he started to pick up on it and see, you know what I'm saying? And it, made him proud here in a lot of ways because he was a DJ first, but then he got into rapping here later. You know what I'm saying? And and first thing he would tell anybody is like, "Yo, hey, shoot, my son rap like how I used to give it up back in the day." Da, da, da. So anyhow, fast forward, you know what I'm saying? One of the folks, you know what I'm saying, was over at his crib one day, heard about it, you know what I'm saying, and wanted to like really check to see if I could like really freestyle or if it was just like, you know what I'm saying, just me rapping some shit that I memorized, writing, etc., etc. So you're like, listen, I'm about to give you this word. You gonna freestyle it whatnot and use this word 5 different times. You're saying different times. Don't repeat the same shit. Don't use it the same way. And it just so happened to be Excursion. Thankfully, I was already familiar with it. Long story short, took me a minute, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here and act like I aced it, you know what I mean? But I did, freestyle or whatnot, like, you know what I'm saying, like, got a couple bars off, so on and so forth. I say like 3-4 minutes into it, hey, shoot, I met the match and somebody was air hustling, like out in the street or whatever, like that. Like we was out in the front yard or whatever. Somebody was outside or whatever, listening in on it, thought I was talking in the third person and was telling other motherfuckers like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You need to hear this nigga Excursion. This motherfucker dope. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This and the third. I was about to get ready to correct him because my name was Excalibur. You know what I'm saying? Back at that time. Shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? But shit, like for real, I like the sound of Excursion better. Like just hearing them say it. So I was like, man, shit, no, I'm gonna stick with it. You know what I mean? So
Roger, fuck that. Most of the best motherfucking names was given to you by somebody else. That's usually how that shit go.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So you said you was writing since you was 10, well, freestyling. You started writing real heavy. I don't really know exactly how old you are right now, but when do you feel like you actually started going hard with music? Because I mean, like you said, at 10 years old, yeah, you could freestyle, but that don't mean you was actually in motion. That don't mean you was actually going hard with it. So when did you actually decide to start going hard, and what made you decide that this was the moment where it's time for me to start buckling down and going crazy with this shit?
Well, it was at the age of 10, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I will say that, like, just like you said, just because, saying you rapping and whatnot, don't necessarily mean you was going hard. I had the mentality or whatnot, saying to go hard with it whatnot at 10, but my skill didn't match my mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody come out the gate sounding dope as fuck. You know what I mean? But I will say, like, what made me want to get into rap was the fact that I'll say even before I got into rap, I was already looking for like, saying some form of creative outlet. I didn't know exactly, I didn't know that's what I was doing at that time. Saying it was a subconscious thing, but I was doing different shit. Was writing short stories at one point in time, was getting into poetry, which I actually loved. But rap just, was that much better for me. And I'll get to that here in a couple of seconds. But like yeah, did poetry. I drew for a little bit, you know what I mean? Was trying to like do like, you know what I'm saying, like the the portrait type sketches, you know what I'm saying, like try to like, you know what I'm saying, draw some realistic looking shit or whatever like that, but that never happened, you know what I'm saying, with me or whatnot. It always looked cartoonish, you know what I'm saying, like some comic book shit. And then here it is, I ran into somebody or whatnot that was actually into drawing comic books or whatnot and picked that up for a little bit. But then shortly after that, well, no, yeah, a little bit after that or whatever, or even in between time, I really got into rap or whatnot, like listening to Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Biggie just came out in like 94 at that time. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Bone Thugs and Harmony just came out with their first album, Creeping on the Come Up. Shit, Method Man, you know what I mean? Like, you know, just different folks or whatever that just blew my damn mind, long story short. And then, you know, looking at the folks in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, banging on the motherfucking tables or like they chests or like, you know what I'm saying, even on the walls or whatever, you know what I'm saying, in the apartments that we was at, you know what I'm saying, rapping and freestyling and shit, you know what I'm saying, and even the, you know what I'm saying, the kids at the schools, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, and I like, man, shit, like, you know, and just the mix between those two, maybe be like, you know what, like, this is something that I could do. This is what I want to do. So that's what made me want to, like, you're saying, go into it, you're saying, from there, because like I did everything that I was already doing with poetry, but you're saying, but I saw the opportunity to like do it to some dope ass beats and everything here as well. And the more I got into it and whatnot, and the more certain shit hit me or whatever, or like, you know, saying I would encounter certain shit or whatever, to where I even felt the need to even vent out. It became an outlet for me here as well. So just seeing the, you know, so having all of that come together for me is what made me be like, yeah, I want to go ahead and go hard at this shit. But as far as like my skill level is concerned, like, you know, saying, like when I was really going hard skill wise with it, I would have to say like 16, you know what I mean? Because like that's when I got my first record deal, you know what I mean? And like folks was really starting to look at me like, yo, watch him. He could probably do something here in the few or whatever. He got some dope. He got some potential out here.
So you said Biggie, you said Method Man, you said Bone Thug.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm assuming those is three influential names when it comes to you, when it comes to music. So none of them motherfuckers sound alike at all. They styles is completely motherfucking different. I'm talking about not
Yeah.
even on a close to the same level type shit. So what kind of artist would you consider yourself? Because if those are if those are three of your influences and they sound absolutely nothing alike, that means you try to add some versatility to yourself. So what kind of artist would you consider yourself?
Um, I would say I would honestly, I don't want to say jack of all trades, because like, you know, I know that I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I do have like a certain level of versatility to myself, you know what I mean? But like, you know, I know that, you know, even as broad as my horizons are, there is, you know, a line or a limit to those horizons. So I would say like, you know, I am how can I say, what would be the best way to describe myself? Um I am that cornucopia of an artist, if you will, that kaleidoscope. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can look into me and whatnot, and like, you know what I'm saying, that see different colors and whatnot, different vibes, different energies and everything. Um, you know, and honestly, like, that's part of why I even, like, you know, died myself, you know, the Midwest phenomenon, because, you know, coming from the Midwest and everything, you know, we're one of the things that we're notorious for, you know what I'm saying, is taking, like, you know what I'm saying, different influences and different sounds, you know what I'm saying, from the surrounding areas
Big
and putting
facts.
our, yeah, you know what I mean, and putting our own twist to it, you know what I mean? And that's something that I embody heavily, you know what I mean? So, you know, that would be the best way to even put it.
Okay. You said you've been writing since you was 10.
Well, no,
Um,
freestyle is a sin.
well, freestyling
I
since you was 10, my bad. Writing since you was like 14, 15, 16,
Yes,
somewhere
I.
around there.
Mhm.
Um, I see I've seen numerous videos of you doing shows. So you out there doing shows heavy, you know what I mean? Let motherfuckers
Mhm.
know that you do what you do. Uh Clearly you just dropped a project, so we know that you in the booth all crazy. Which
Mhm.
phase of the game do you like the most? The writing, the actually being in the booth, or actually being in the stage? For those who have never done a song, they are completely different. none of the motherfuckers feel the same. You don't get the
Right.
same vibe, the same energy. And if you don't get nervous at least one of those phases, you really can't even consider yourself all that great, if you ask me, because at least one of them gonna make you nervous. Most of the time, it's the stage. Most artists actually get nervous when they get on stage. Even motherfuckers like Jay-Z, Nas, all the motherfuckers still get nervous, just so y'all don't know. But which
Oh
one of
hell
those
yeah.
phases do you like the most?
Um, and just to even co-sign what you just got finished saying, no, that's real shit. You know what I mean? Because like hell, even like before I get on stage, there's always a certain level of performance anxiety or butterflies or whatnot that hit me. You know what I mean? Getting ready to go up there because hell, you want to make sure that you by the time you get up there, you put your best performance on. Um, but to answer the question here now, it would be the stage. You know what I mean? Like recording the song, you know what I mean? In the booth will be a close second, but the stage would be like my favorite phase or stage of everything here, you know what I mean? Because it's that moment. Well, one, especially when you got folks out there, saying that that are fans of yours already. You know what I mean? Um, whether they're fans of you and are knowledgeable of you or not, they're there, you up here, they're waiting to hear you. You know what I mean? So just to be able to hit that stage, perform your music, and to see the reaction, you said, of the people that's listening to you in real time. You know what I mean? Especially like you're saying, if you getting like you're saying some dope ass reactions and everything like that, like you're saying you over here looking at you're saying somebody over here like on the right end of the stage or whatever, you're saying he getting twerked by some female to your shit, or you're saying you dropping you're saying you're doing like one of the cypher tracks or whatever, or shit, just whatever you're rapping or whatever, you see some folks or whatever, you're saying bob their head a little bit harder or whatever, screw their face up like damn that shit was dope, da 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 da, like saying it does something to you or not, like what I mean, like that energy you're saying hits you, saying that much harder or whatnot, and saying, and even drives you to want to give that back, what I mean, to where like saying you got a whole circuit between yourself and that crowd, what I mean, that's a whole adrenaline rush or whatnot that I love every trip, what I mean, so yeah, so that's my favorite.
Definitely, definitely hear you on that shit. So let's take a dive into yourself for a second.
Mhm.
Um, and this is one of those questions where I want you to kind of look into yourself, not necessarily how anybody else look at you, how anybody else think or feel about you, but how do you? I want you, I want you to look into yourself when you answer this question.
Yes, sir.
You said you got your first deal 15, I believe you said, right?
16.
Got your first deal at 16.
Mhm.
You right now at where you at right now, what do you think is that one hurdle that you have not gotten over that is keeping you from getting to the top? What is that one thing that's keeping you from being Jay-Z right now? Like it got to be something and that you feel soon as I get past this, it's a wrap. Or soon as I get over this, it's a wrap. Or soon as I master this, it's a wrap. What's that? What would that one thing be for you?
Honestly, I would say the biggest thing is just my ability to travel right now. You know what I mean? Like, I thank God for saying the following that I have here in Akron, saying, and even in the regional areas here in the Midwest, and like, what I've been able to cultivate or whatnot online, what I mean, through different platforms and different social media outlets here, whatnot, as social media itself has progressed. But what I mean, I've noticed here, like I'll even say here too, sure, I would say 2008. I was 24 at that time here. I had said like, yo, I gotta put some album out. You know what I mean? Because like that's what's gonna like take my career to the next level here above the mixtapes that I was doing. And now that I got, EPs and albums out and everything here now, and like saying it is starting to build up, saying the shop videos, doing shows, saying interviews, etc., etc. I know that there's folks out there to where like if I can just get to those areas, you know what I mean, and show my face, you know what I'm saying, with these people that I've been connecting with for so long, you know what I mean, it can help to boost me up that much further and I can make that much more of a significant impact or whatnot, you know, and hell, you know, just being ready with, you know, saying promo, you know what I mean, you know, merch or whatever like that, you know, it could help to further like, you know, get my name buzzing that much more to where like hell, you know, more eyes will be on me or whatnot, and I can pop like a like say a Jay-Z, you know what I mean, or a Method Man or a DMX, rest in peace, you know what I mean, and just and go from that point. But like, yeah, I need to I've been able to perform in different places or whatnot, like, you know what I'm saying, out of town and even out of state, but not nearly as often as I know I should, you know what I'm saying, or need to be able to. So that's one critical thing, you know what I'm saying. My face needs to hit a few more places here, like ASAP.
I'm kind of glad you said that. I hear too many artists tell me that they don't do shows. They don't want to do shows. They're not worrying about doing shows. It's times where people will hit me up, yo, we looking for 3, 4 artists to be on this showcase, or we looking for 3, 4 artists to open up for this dude or whatever. And folks like, man, I'm not traveling over there for no show, or it'll be a show that's right here in the city. Man, I ain't doing that. I ain't got time for that shit. And it's like, yo, like, how you expect to gain an audience if the audience don't know you exist?
Right.
Because streaming is an option. And this is the shit that people keep forgetting. Streaming is an option. I don't know you exist, so why the fuck am I clicking on your music?
We're alive.
But if I see you on stage and I could hear you dope, I could see that you dope, I could feel the energy you bring into the stage. Now I'm like, damn, I gotta listen to this nigga's music now.
Hell yeah. And just to even piggyback on that for one short second, you know what I'm saying? One major point in my career was when I opened for Tech Nine, and I want to say '06. You know what I mean? Me and my, you say me and my homie, well, he goes by Chris Essex now, but I want to say he was like K1000 back in the day or whatnot, like, you know what I'm saying, during that time. We performed together here, you know what I'm saying, some songs that we did together collaborating. You know what I'm saying? And we was like one of the first opening acts up, you know what I'm saying, for Tech Nine, at Peabody's Down Under in Cleveland. But anyway, fast forward, it was a 20-minute set. We had like 17 minutes worth of music. We did it, but you know, hell, we got time left over because we done already performed everything that we done did up until that point. So we looking at each other like, you know, saying what we about to do or whatever like that. And we already like, you know, saying had a dope reaction from the crowd already, like performing the music, and they was wanting to hear more. You know what I mean? So he just fucked around and, you know what I'm saying, just bust out rapping the verse or whatnot that he had wrote from like one of his other songs. Crowd start going crazy. I follow behind him. You know what I'm saying? Start, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, busting, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, some verses or whatever that I had written or whatnot, like, you know what I'm saying, from some older tracks and everything like that. Crowd go crazy again. You know what I mean? Like this go on for like the remaining like 2.5 minutes or so. You know what I'm saying? We ain't want to like, you know, run the risk of going over. But like during that acapella, you know, saying between like the songs and the acapella sets that we did, especially the acapella sets or whatnot, because that's when they really went ballistic. That's when motherfuckers was really like, you know what I'm saying, checking and see like, who the hell is this Xcursion dude? Like, you know what I mean? And my name like boosted up, you know what I'm saying, that much more or whatnot, like, you know what I'm saying, as a result of that. So yeah, for the folks that call themselves, well, I ain't gonna say call themselves, I ain't gonna disrespect y'all like that, but like, you know what I'm saying, but for the folks that want to like really build yourself up like that, you know what I'm saying, and really like get the exposure, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know that you need, you gotta hit that fucking stage. You know, and like, cause like, shoot, like that's the best way. Ain't no way in hell I can listen to a song or whatnot that you recorded and not know who actually was behind the shit, especially in this ghostwriter age now. You know what I'm saying? But like, shoot, either way it goes, like, you know what I'm saying, I ain't even gonna go into that tangent, but regardless of what, if I can see you face to face, you know what I'm saying, I can hear this shit, You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And get the vibe like, okay, yeah, no. He really that one like that, or she really that one like that? Oh no, shoot, you got me off the top.
Facts. Facts. This is shit I'm telling motherfuckers, but they don't want to hear me. A lot of people, nowadays, artists is lazy. I think that's part of the problem. Let me ask you this, man. First of all, how old are you?
38.
38. So you're not quite an old head, but you're not quite a young boy. You in that in between stage when it comes to music, right?
Yes, sir.
So and you've been around for a good bit of music. So how do you feel about the state of hip hop right now as we speak? Like, how do you feel? You feel it's in a good place? You feel like the progression is where it should be? You feel like it's getting better? You feel like it's getting worse? Like, in your opinion, how do you feel?
The state of hip hop right now, to me, I will put it in the same vein as the advancement of technology, in the sense that um with the direction that it's taken, and even with the accessibility of a lot of things that we didn't have in, like, you know, in the 2000s, and shoot, even more so in the 90s and the 80s. um it has improved the game in a lot of ways, you know what I'm saying, and made room for like a lot of people to like really pop, you know what I mean? And like, put matters into their own hands, creatively speaking, and even, on the business end of things, you know what I'm saying, to where like the majors aren't even needed as much, you know what I'm saying, as they was, once upon a time. But at the same token, though, and then even just creatively speaking here too, like, there's a little bit more, not to say this as if there wasn't ever any freedom for real, because there always has been to some capacity, but um the freedom is a lot more widespread here, and a lot more prevalent here, like in this age, as opposed to like the earlier years. But at the same time, just like technology, the more it advances, the more negative effects, is going to come along with it here as well. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, as much as it's helped a lot of dope artists come out, you got it's given like a lot of people like the impression like all you got to do is just download some programs.
And put
You
a
know what I
bullshit
mean?
ass song on social media and be mad when people don't listen.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and think you just automatically supposed to pop. And that's not even, saying how that shit go. You know what I mean? And even the ones that do manage to whatnot, like, it's not, saying, like the quality of the music ain't, saying, ain't what it needs to be. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I mean, like, it's cool or whatnot, but like, I just really, just wish that there was more of a balance, saying, in the state of hip hop or whatnot, and saying creatively speaking or whatnot. Like, the more time passes or whatnot, the more I see like it seemed to be like there
It's an
so much of a
oversaturation of bullshit artists.
strike like that, saying, to the point to where like, anybody that saying wants to make a case that there's an agenda out there can legitimately make that case. You know what I mean? Like, hell, I even feel like that, you know what I mean? Like, to an extent, saying, on a lot of things, saying, as it relates to this music. So yeah.
Okay. I noticed between your features and like you say, you opened up for tech. You've been in the presence of a lot of quote unquote legends, you know what I mean, in the game. Um,
Yes, sir.
Regardless of if certain people may want to see them as legends or not, everybody's a legend to somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you've been in the presence of quite a few. So who would you feel is that one legend that you actually was honored to be in a presence when it comes to this music shit?
Man, on some real shit, like, well, I'm not gonna say, well, essentially everybody, but I'm gonna give a specific name, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to, like, I don't want to throw that blanket statement out there like that, even though that is genuinely how I feel. Um, Two, well, shoot, for real. I'm gonna say it like this: the legends that are bona fide lyricists because like when I got into the game, you're saying like when I got into music and everything, those were the ones that I respected. Those you're saying those were the ones that I modeled myself after. That's what I wanted to be myself. You're saying the more I grew in, like you're saying, like came into my own identity. So like you're saying, if you was a lyricist or whatnot, and you're a legend in this game and whatnot, like you're saying, I was honored to be, you're saying, in your presence and to even be able to collaborate. You know what I'm saying? Like Corrupt from the Dog Pound. He's a lyricist. You know what I mean? Yuck Mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think people sleep on Corrupt, but
oh,
that's
hell yeah.
another story for another time right there.
I got you. But no, I agree 100%. You know what I mean? And another one that's underrated as a lyricist, Yuck Mouth. You know what I mean? You're saying like, you know, I've been able to rock with him. Shit. Well, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, try to like, you know what I'm saying, put anything out there here like too far ahead of time because like, you know, I'm still in like the underboss vein right now, but shit, I've had the opportunity to even like lay down some you know, some tracks and whatnot and brush shoulders with Razzcast. You know what I mean? Cannabis, which was a heavy influence on me. And motherfucking DMC from Run DMC. Like I can't wait to let that cat out the motherfucking bag. Like you said, like as far as the song goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, like, you know, I didn't even anticipate him even like, you know, even rapping anymore. I figured like he was already like, you know what I'm saying, long gone off into his retirement and going into like, going off into the sunset, long story short. But, you know, I've been able to rock with him. You know what I'm saying? And that's a major honor. You know what I mean? Like,
big fan.
Yeah, like so, you know, so like those ones here, you know what I'm saying, amongst the other ones that I have been able to rock with here as well. Like, you know what I'm saying, those are like, you know, big honors because like hell, I grew up listening to them. You know what I mean? And now here it is. You're saying like you couldn't
let me
tell.
ask you this.
Go ahead.
You know what it's like to have a deal. You know what it's like to be in the presence of certain motherfuckers that have went before you and did they fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it feels like to destroy a stage. You know what it feels like to have people in the crowd saying your song, which a lot of motherfuckers will never get that privilege. As hard as they try, they'll never get that privilege. You know what I mean? And that's a hell of a fucking privilege for people to know the words to your song. A lot of people don't understand that's a hell of a privilege to have. Even if it's just one or two motherfuckers in the crowd saying your fucking song, like that shit is a great honor. What do you feel is the biggest accomplishment in your career thus far?
Shit. The biggest accomplishment, I ain't gonna lie, like you're saying, and this is like and this is on some personal shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is on some personal shit here. Ironically enough, you know what I mean? Like it's the reason we both, you know what I'm saying, talking and chopping it up here right now, dropping this album, Underboss.
All right. Well,
this was the biggest one for me.
Let's get into Underboss, man, because I seen your post. This was 16 years in the making, you said.
Yes, sir.
16 years.
Go ahead.
16 years is a long time. I know how that feels. I actually dropped a mixtape sometime back. It was a while back. It's old as shit at this point. But that mixtape was like a 10-year in the making type mixtape. And it was something that folks was asking me for, but I wasn't necessarily worried about putting out. But then I felt like, you know what? Why am I not doing this? You know what I mean? Why am I not putting out this fucking project? I'm making music like crazy. I'm on everybody else shit. Everybody's dropping projects and I'm all over the motherfuckers. Why not put out my own shit? And I had the mindset that I was going to do this album just because. So that was the name of the mixtape, Just Because. You know what I mean? Right. So what does Underboss mean to you?
Man, it means a hell of a lot. Like, you know, just to even give like, you know, the cliff notes to what I put up, you know what I mean, introducing the album and putting it out. Underboss was made in dedication to, you know, Ryland Williams, who also was known as Boss, you know what I mean, the owner of Hilltop Entertainment, the label that gave me my first record deal, you know what I mean. He was the one that signed me first, and then also he was a major role model in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying, like he would, like, you know, pull me to the side, like, you know what I'm saying, you know, just to chop it up with me and whatnot, drop certain, you know what I'm saying, life lessons and gems on me. You know what I mean? Take me out of whatever, you know what I'm saying, just to expose me to different things and, you know, saying, to different people, etc., etc. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like, you know, like put me onto a whole hell of a lot, you know what I'm saying? And then just even with his overall demeanor and personality, you know what I'm saying, and the quality of life that he was living, you know what I'm saying, now, like, you know, with his house, his home, his family, you know what I mean? Like I saw a lot of me in him. Like, you know what I'm saying, like he was the person that I saw myself being like in the next 10 to 15 years. You know, but fast forward, you know, late summer of '06, he died. You know what I mean? And it was at a time here too to where I had even decided, you know, saying to make an album, you know, saying that would capture the sound that you're saying that we was making, but really didn't get an opportunity to release because the label folded before it had a chance to like fully launch with anything or anybody. But then, like, you know what I'm saying, he died. And like I said here in an earlier interview, like, you know what I'm saying, it just took on a whole nother meaning and vibe from there. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm over here writing songs, I'm getting beats for them and everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming up with concepts and everything like that. But the moment like anything comes up, you know what I'm saying, to where you know, a memory comes up or whatnot of him, you know what I'm saying, or the label or like the label mates or anything involved in that era of time, it would just fuck with me too much to where I couldn't even write the damn song or whatnot. So it got to a point to where it was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just scrap it. I know I still need to do an album, you know what I mean? Because I can't keep doing mixtapes, especially if I want to advance in my career, but it can't be Underboss. I gotta switch the name or something. You know what I mean? So I scrapped it. And I say years later, I fooled around and like, you know, took a hiatus for a while here too. Like, you know what I'm saying, stepped away from music for a while here as well, came back 2018. Well, decided to come back 2018, released, you know, send out some more music 2019. Um, but like, yeah, I say 2020, I decided to pick that project back up. Like, it's like, okay, hey, I'm back now. I know I still got this stone unturned. Let me complete it. And even then, it was still held completing it these, you know, saying like those past 3 years from 2020 to this year. You know, saying getting it done for the same reasons, but it's like nah, fuck that. You know, saying if nothing else, you know, saying I still gotta. If you gotta fight through the shit, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm saying? But that was the significance of it. It was like you're saying, trying to capture the sound of the label or whatnot that we were trying to offer to the world at that time. And then also like, you know what I'm saying, just dedicating it, you know what I'm saying, to a very important figure in my life, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, a pillar in my life. So
What's the one song on that album that everybody need to listen to ASAP?
shit, everybody needs to hear honestly on some real shit. Um, even aside from all the personal songs on there, I ain't gonna lie, shit. You know what I'm saying? No games.
No games. What's the song about? What's the premise of the song?
The premise of the song is I told y'all motherfuckers I wasn't playing. And here we are. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't come here to fuck around. You know what I'm saying? I never have fucked around. Y'all should know that. But hell, if you didn't know it, you're saying you're gonna know now.
I
Flat
hear
out.
that. I know you like to play around with notable features, man. Who all you got featured on that joint?
Shoot, you know what I'm saying? Well, I got corrupt, you know what I'm saying, from the dog pound on this one, you know what I'm saying, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know what I'm saying, my homie Bucciano, you know what I'm saying, on the graveyard shift track here on you know what I'm saying, on this album. Dynasty, the you know what I'm saying, rapper, singer, amazing a rapper, lyricist, MC, songwriter, and the owner and founder of Left to Be Right Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? She's on the remix of Graveyard Shift. And then you know, and the homegirl Faye Love Music. You know what I mean? She lays 2 tracks on there. You know what I mean? And she you said she's bubbling here right now. Like, you know, she was an up and comer here that I had the opportunity to you said to link with and everything, you know, got her story, you know, her musical story and everything. Noticed 1 or 2 things or whatnot to where it was like, you know, she could have been out, you know, saying a lot earlier than what she was. It was like, man, nah, fuck that. You know, saying we about to kickstart you. You know what I mean? And I'm really glad to see, you know, saying the moves that she's making. You know what I mean? She signed to a label here now here as well, Keep It Street Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And it's killing. You know what I mean? So definitely salute to her. But yeah, those are the ones, you know, those are the artists that are featured here on this project along with me.
Roger the fuck that, man. I like to ask people this question, this question because it means something different to each person.
Mhm.
Everybody's gonna give a completely different answer, and 90% of the time, 90% of the time, you have a bunch of people that don't agree with the answer that you're gonna give me to this question. Me personally, I
Right.
will never dispute the answers to this question. Even though you may say some shit that I don't agree with, but I will never dispute it. But I do like to hear other people dispute it, mainly because hip hop is one of the most talked about topics on the planet, and everything
Mhm.
about it is based off how you feel. The people I like may not be the people you like. The way I listen to music may not be the way you listen to music. Uh,
Right.
I'm an East Coast dude off the rip, you know what I mean? But
It's a
I
fact.
still fuck with the South. I still fuck with the Midwest. I still fuck with the West. You got some people that they ain't listening to nothing but South music. I ain't listening to nothing else. They ain't trying to hear that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I want to know from you, who is your top five dead or alive? You take it how you want it. Top five dead or alive.
All right. Number one off the motherfucking rip, Rakim. Rakim is my number one. Number two, Biggie. Number three, Tupac. Number four, Method Man. And number five, Nas.
So basically, what you telling me is, and also too, a lot of people don't understand. Your top five says a whole lot about you. So basically,
Uh,
what you telling me is all you like is lyrics. You don't give a fuck about nothing else but lyrics. That's basically what your top five just told me.
Well, I can see how my top five told you that because all of them are lyricists in some capacity. But just to kind of elaborate on myself and my musical taste, no, that's not all that I care about. It's a very integral part of, you know, saying what I check for whenever I listen to music, especially if I'm going to be listening to you say on a frequent basis. You know what I mean? You definitely gonna have to have some shit to say. You know, but that's not the only thing. My thing here, like on a general scale here with music, is like you have to have a complete package. Like just to even unpack, you know what I'm saying, even the top five or like even certain artists in the top five. Tupac, you know what I mean? He's not a lyricist in the wordplay sense. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking for metaphors,
Tupac was
punchlines,
more of a poet than an artist. A lot of people just can't understand that concept.
exactly. You know what I mean? So yeah, boom, you just pretty much put the nail on the head right there. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was a poet, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying, when you want to talk about lyricism. But even with all the poetry, you know what I'm saying, that he's explained or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, in his music, he still had, you know what I'm saying, different vibes for different people. You know what I'm saying he can go from Holla If You Hear Me to Brenda's Got a Baby to How Do You Want It to Hit Him Up to motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, All About You, the Trading War story. You know what I'm saying? Like he had, you know what I'm saying, like a broad spectrum or whatnot. And like he had like a different range of different vibes and flavors and everything or whatnot for you to rock to. You know what I mean? And the same with Biggie. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he did, you know what I'm saying? What is it here? The What? But then the same person that did the What with Method Man did Sky's the Limit with 112. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they had their own they had their broad horizons and their own levels of versatility here, when not them two, especially. And hell, Method Man, like, you know what I mean? Like, he can, drop mathematics on you quick as hell, you know what I'm saying, just like the rest of the Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? But then he can get on some comical shit here as well, just like he showed with Redman with the Blackout albums. You know what I mean? And shoot, he can get on, like, shoot, he fucked around. He was the first. Well, I ain't gonna say he was the first person. I don't think he was, anyways. But he was definitely one of the first or whatnot. You know what I'm saying, to make, you're saying, like a street love anthem. You know what I'm saying, like "You're All I Need" with Mary J. Blige, and then he did "Break Us to Make Us" with D'Angelo.
You might
You
be,
know what I
you
mean? Like,
actually might be right about that. Now that I'm thinking about it, he might have been the first one that did. Because I mean, you had your LL, you had Heavy D, you had motherfuckers doing the love song hip hop, but it wasn't like a street love song shit. So I could see he might have been. Now that I'm thinking about it, you might be onto something right there.
yeah, I'm thinking so. Like, I was trying to think, like, you know, saying, to see if there was anybody else before him that, like, you know, because like you said, like, you know, LL, like, he did love songs, but like, you know, saying, when he did love songs, they were like love songs. You know,
No,
saying,
yeah,
just in
it was
rap,
damn
like,
near R&B and rap form.
pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with Heavy D. Like, you know, saying, oh hell, like, you know, even with Heavy D, you know, he may not always be, like, you're saying, on the heavy R&B side with his love songs and whatnot. Hell, like, you know, shoot,
Close to it.
but it was, yeah, definitely super close to it or whatnot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, one song that keep ringing off my head here now is "Overweight Lovers in the House," or even that other song, I forget the formal name of it, but the hook, you know, was like, "Now that we found love,
That's the
what
name of the
are we
song. Now
gonna
that we
do?"
got love.
Okay, well, boom. But and there it is. You know what I'm saying? So but like, yeah, but like, you know, when they did love songs, like you said, it was pretty much R&B and rap form. The Method Man, I know for damn sure, even if he wasn't the first one, like, to do a street love song, he was the first one to ever say to a girl, "You my nigga." You know what I'm saying? On a track. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but either way, like, all of that being mentioned to say that, like, you know what I'm saying, even with the artists that I'm mentioning here in my top five, those three, especially, hell, I can even make like that same case for Nas on some real shit. You know what I mean? But like, you know, they all got, like, you're saying, broad horizons, you know what I'm saying? They shown that they can, like you're saying, touch different, you're saying, sides of this musical spectrum. You know what I'm saying? But they're definitely gonna show their lyrical prowess even in the midst of it.
Yeah,
So, you know
fact.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Nah, I'm with you 100%, man. And we about to wrap this shit up, man. But before we get out of here, I need you to let the people know three things. Where can they
What's that?
find you? What can they get from you? And what can they expect from you?
Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Excursion Music. You can find me, shoot, even on TikTok at Excursion Music. You can find me on SoundCloud and Facebook at Excursion Online. I'm on all streaming platforms here as Excursion, you know, as it's showing it here, like on the screen, XCursion. You know what I'm saying? Scope me out on all streaming platforms. And then also here, I'm on Bandcamp here, excursion.bandcamp.com. And then shoot, what you can get from me is pretty much, you know, the exact same thing that I just got finished here, even mentioning, making the cases for, like, you know, Pac, Biggie, and Method Man, just like I did here too. Like, as far as like music is concerned, you know, like, you will get a whole like variety of things here from me. Like, you know what I mean? If you're looking for lyrics, I definitely got that. You're looking for a dope ass, you know what I'm saying, beats and production, I have that. Like, you know what I'm saying, you're looking for somebody that can, you know what I'm saying, take you through different vibes, feelings, and, you know what I'm saying, and you know, and different things here, whatnot, as it relates to how you may be feeling at any particular point in time, you know what I'm saying, in your day, week, or life. Shoot, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna definitely have something for you for however you feeling. You know what I mean? So you know, you're saying, slide through here with me, you're saying, and ride out here through this musical journey, because, you know, I'm definitely gonna, you know, we are definitely, you know, saying, gonna go places together here, you know, and shoot, you know what I'm saying, yeah, that's what you can get from me, that's what you can expect from me right off the top. And then what was the last question? I don't want to miss anything.
You basically just said both of them at the same time. What can you get and what can you expect?
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, there it is, right off the rip. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Listen,
that's
man,
it.
make sure y'all tap in with this nigga, man. He definitely got some shit for y'all on the low. You know what I mean? And I know, like myself, a lot of y'all motherfuckers is thinking, this nigga from Ohio, he ain't saying shit. Nah, he actually saying some shit. Real shit. Like, trust me, I'm starting to realize that motherfuckers from different places that we didn't expect good music from, it's starting to give us good music from these places. You know what I mean? It's not like it used to be back in the day. You know what I mean? Like you could find a nigga in Connecticut that got bars. You could find a nigga in Ohio. You could find a nigga in Wisconsin. You know what I mean? That actually got some shit. It ain't like it used to be. Like the game has changed. The shit has evolved. You know what I mean? My nigga Excursion in the motherfucking building. Make sure y'all check him out. All streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? What's the name of the album again?
Underboss.
I'm gonna say it again for him.
Underboss.
Now, for the motherfuckers in the back of the room that's pretending like they ain't listening, shut the fuck up and hear what he's saying. Say the name again.
Underboss.
It's going to fuck down. All on the table, baby. Bung.
Start like that.
I want this shit banging in my headphones. You understand me? Let me hear that beat.
Turn that shit up, nigga.
You dig? I'ma address some shit. Let y'all niggas know the real. I've been dormant for too long. Hibernating.
Let's go.
Everybody want it, but do you wanna get it? I'm sick of all these niggas bullshitting. I'm sick of all these bitches. I'm sick of how these bitch niggas tripping. And how y'all get these passes to these snitches. Neighborhood crippin', dog pound gangsters in the building. I'ma treat these niggas like bitches. Throw them to the wolves and the vultures, the hyenas and my siblings, so they can experience what they say they really living. Man, let me show you how deep it really gets, and then I'ma show you the power of membership. One on the hip, illegal extended clip. I'ma show you niggas the power of membership. The Viking and the villain, riddling couldn't stop this adrenaline. Mind-bending forensic technical chemist. One for the road, walk up and explode. I'ma show you niggas the power of membership.
Nigga, we everywhere. Coming from wrestling, it'll be hell no matter which way you turn. Nigga, we everywhere. Back 11s with 30 extendos and show you our shells turn. Nigga, we everywhere. No havens to hide out, and when we slide and swarming from all sides, nigga, we everywhere. NSG, nigga, we everywhere.
Virtue over volume. Farts constantly pop the most at the tongue until muzzle will melt with the real ones dropping fold. Not for smoking mirrors, flexing muscles you ain't got to hold up your supposed pressure. Minds collide when heat from the Glock to skull. Shit is real, when sentence return and no one's got control of karma's payment methods. Fools out trying to fit this, not they mode or lane like they claim it is. Niggas don't be on that mob shit like they say they is. These niggas some hoes, a million families posted. Supply and demand in motion. Transactions hand in hand, I sit on beds with the hammers toted. Stats resume, bands keep rolling. Going strong, relentless in the shop. Eyes on consistent, watch for ops, my bandit scoping. Cause ain't no interceptions on my grid. And without sacrifice of your life, spin the block, none of spotters with panoramic vision. Securing hawks in the grip. Smiths and Larkins to spit. Shells fly from all of the clips. No side mini park in this bitch, nigga, we everywhere.
Coming from wrestling, it'll be hell no matter which way you turn. Nigga, we everywhere. Back 11s with 30 extendos and show you our shells turn. Nigga, we everywhere. No havens to hide out, and when we slide and swarming from all sides, nigga, we everywhere. NSG, nigga, we everywhere. PGC,
We everywhere. Told these niggas, man, don't fool around with a fool, dumbass nigga, stupid.
With your dumb ass.